Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Talking Shop, presented by your boys, Hot Tag Reviews. I am Rob Campbell, alongside...
I am jobber number 2, Martin Holland.
I'm Daniel. Oh, Jesus! Cornfield.
That's right. The sunlight is out. Us vampires are not used to this.
Solar flare.
Who is our guest today? Our guest is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Todd Pettingale, also known as Tom Priest. Hello, Tom.
Hello, everybody. You okay?
All good, are you?
Yeah. Are you ready for some seriously low ratings and numerous questions? Who the hell is this guy here?
We don't get any ratings anyway. We just get together on a Monday night and have some bants.
I'm going to say, was that Art O'Donovan coming in then saying, how much does this guy weigh? It's like straight away. Oh, you crazy bastard.
Absolutely straight in. I'm sure we'll have a couple of views at least, Tom. I mean, our YouTube channel's,
I'll probably watch it back. So there's one.
There's one. I'll watch it back. So there's 2.
In other words, I'll skip through.
There you go. We're up and running.
Yeah. I'm here for the adverts more than anything.
We're off to the races. So, Todd Pettingale, Tom Priest, it has been so long since seeing your face. The last time I seen your face was at the Bagger Dome for just a casual session on a Tuesday night or something like that. That's
very casual, as normal.
Very casual, yeah. Leaving at the doors closing, having a whiskey and coke on the way out when, work is due at 8 a.m. the next morning. These things happen, right?
Yeah.
Have you been keeping?
Standard. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just, the kids have gone back to school now and whatever, which it's got them back to a little bit of normality and still work. I'm lucky to have worked all the way through this, to be perfectly honest. So it's, just very much life as normal, but not being able to go to the usual pubs and
I don't feel the same way
all the
about
rest of it.
Tom.
So
Sorry, I can't agree with you there.
what's
Did
that?
you just say you feel lucky that you had to work all the way through?
I do, yeah, because I think I'd have gone out my mind if I'd have had to have stopped at home all day, every day. Well, say all day, every day, but I work nights, so...
I am pissed off because I've got to pay higher fucking council tax. I've got to pay higher fucking road tax, fucking car tax, everything else, because we've got to pay the government back. And I've fucking worked all the way through. I had one fucking day off. I wasn't furloughed.
No, mate.
Oh, exactly. We're the working people. We're the people who fucking kept this country going. Now I've got to pay fucking tax back. For what? Fucking fuck 'em.
I'll pay the tax to keep my sanity, to be perfectly honest. That's the way they're all.
I feel like I'm being fucking done in both holes. You know what I mean?
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is advertised before we start this show that it is all of the drama, all of the gimmicks, and more specifically with Martin right now, all of the politics.
Yeah,
So I have fucking shooting.
I have kind of already pre-warned Lewis that it's probably one that he won't be able to watch already anyway. So he's like...
I like the idea of you be able to watch it with him, but I'm like a bleep button next to you. So,
I'll just cut that segment out, Tom. It's all right, yeah.
He definitely, and he doesn't do editing these days. It's cool.
30 seconds just to blow.
Editing is done for me.
Yeah, literally.
You're now uncensored and raw every time.
Every single time, which is a very dangerous concept for us three boys, that is for sure.
Yeah.
So, Tom, we obviously know you from wrestling, but what people might not know about you is there's a lot more than just that guy that's trying to take Chris Chambers' job at FCW, right?
I'm definitely not doing that.
I know you're not, but that's what he says. So let him have it. Yeah. So we'll talk
I'll keep
about...
him on his toes. I'll keep him on his toes.
I'll keep him fresh.
I'm definitely not after Chris's job.
Well, he's been a lot better since you've been around, put it that way. So we're going to talk about a lot, not just wrestling and your involvement within wrestling, but more about you to get people to know you a little bit more. We will start with a little bit of wrestling though, and we'll talk about obviously when wrestling first come into your life. What's your first memories of wrestling? When and why did you fall in love with it? And yeah, tell me a little bit about that, I suppose.
Do you know what? I honestly, I've said this to numerous people before. I honestly can't remember a time of my life where I didn't like wrestling. That's how long back that I go, really. And I remember when I was really young going to like various town halls and watching different shows and things like that. But my fondest and earliest memory of wrestling was watching old taped reruns of World of Sport with my great nan, she was an incredible person to watch wrestling with. She would scream at the telly, if he was mine, I'd give it on Tanny's backside and all this, like, you know.
Was she one of the nans in the audience who would have had like a cigarette and doubted it out on like?
Do you know? Honestly, if I could have ever got her to a live show, she would have just threw things at people.
Was your nan not the one that was like in Hulk Hogan's face? Do you remember? On the she's going.
My nan would have probably just kind of like turned away and gone. Whereas my great nan would have probably snotted him on the end of his nose, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, that was like there was that. There was like I say, going to town hall wrestling. I can remember shows it like, I think it was in Wednesbury and West Brom, places like that we used to go to, Darlaston maybe, and I can't remember who used to wrestle there as such, but I remember going there once and being absolutely gripped by this one guy in the main event that was literally came out as the Terminator. He was dressed like Arnie. His gimmick was the Terminator. There was no high fives or anything. And all the kids, when he come walking past, was just like, my God, it's the Terminator. Like, you know, that was his gimmick.
Was he looking for Sarah Connors in the audience?
he might have been. To be honest, I think I just watched this match just going, is he coming near me? Or is he? so yeah, and I used to watch WCW on a Saturday afternoon when that was on as well. Nice. And back in those days, it was like my nan was the only person that had Sky, and we used to catch the odd, I think it was called Superstars, the WWF events. And
yeah,
so like pay-per-views, I relied on people taping them for me, really, like those that used to have Sky and stuff like that. And so yeah, it was that really. And I was lucky enough in the early 90s to go to 2 of the European Rampage tours that came to the NEC. And I've actually, because I thought you was going to talk about this, I've actually dug this out for you. This is my programme.
How classy is that, lads?
That is awesome.
So I've got my programme, which is absolutely huge. And it's still in I did see something actually on this.
I reckon back in the day that would have been about $5.
You can send off.
That's what they charge these days.
Send off the further copies of this programme for £6. So £6, yeah, which is decent. a lot cheaper than they are now.
What year is that from?
I think it was like 1992. I think, yeah. Okay. I think it was 92. It was.
I love keeping stuff like that.
I think it's in the middle when I was flicking through it. Like it actually shows you in the middle photos of like the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh shit! Yeah,
like in the middle and that like, on that European tour. So. Yeah, it was around about the 92 mark, I would say, something like that.
Wow.
And looks in great condition as well.
It is.
Well to keep that well, yeah.
That's
well, if you think that's good, then wait till you see my Legion of Doom bandana. They're off.
Oh, I want it. Like,
you just literally jizzed.
It doesn't fit around my head anymore.
It doesn't fucking matter. It'll fit around my cock. It will fit around my cock.
So,
Don would be fucking Molina with a fucking Legion of Doom and it's
going. It was great. It was a great time to like. I was just completely and utterly blown away. It was I take Lewis to the WWE. Well, I say pre-COVID. I take Lewis to the WWE, sort of to the 2 yearly house shows, if you like. One at the NIA, one at the NEC that I take him to. But back in those days, everything was just so different. It was like you was lucky to get a ticket to it then, whereas now it's sort of like it's a little bit on tap, isn't it? And it's, you can just flick your phone on and order a ticket, whereas then it was like redial,
go to the venue,
engage,
or
redial, redial. So it's like, but it's good. It's just happy memories, and so they're my sort of earliest memories, I would say. But like I say, when it comes to like the older pay-per-views, I did used to see them, but I'd have never saw them live. It would have always been sort of like the next time that I saw my uncle, he used to take them sometimes and things like that. So, but I've actually still got some of the old VHS tapes with them on. Now, like I say, I'm a bugger for keeping stuff. I don't throw anything away. I'm like, the amount of stuff that Lewis has got in his wardrobe and programs, books, posters, pictures, you name it, he's got it. I'm a firm believer that it drives my wife mad, but
it's something to keep and look back on, isn't it, as a fond memory?
Definitely.
So this is why some of us collect memorabilia, for example. So it's a really common thing, and you spoke a lot about going to shows and watching them live, and you're a big fan of independent wrestling, as we know, and NXT UK these days, and so on and so forth. But in terms of the first pay-per-view that you ever sort of watched, I think we were talking about it the other day, and you roughly think that it was the Survivor Series 1990.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like I said, I can remember Undertaker's debut. That's the thing for me. I think my first sort of favourite, I can't actually turn around and say that I like a pay-per-view. It's like individual. I remember, I'm terrible for dates and years and all the rest of it, but I definitely remember Undertaker's debut. And then the Survivor Series, I think it was the year after that, where you had Team Piper against Team Flair, which was, Roddy Piper was my favourite as a kid. And then sort of like led on to the Royal Rumble after that, of course, famously Ric Flair won from number 3, and I think, if I'm right, that was the first time and the only time that Roddy Piper won a singles title in WWF at the time. So it was like all around that era, if you like.
Hold on a minute, Tom. Wait there. You can't just say, Roddy Piper won the Intercontinental title against the Mountie and not go into your reaction, buddy.
I know what you're going to say.
You told me this separately. You are telling the boys this. This is a fantastic story.
So So Roddy Piper was my hero as a kid, and it was speaking of the shows in Birmingham. I was absolutely buzzed the once to. I don't think I told you this, Rob, but I was absolutely buzzed the once to have a ticket to go there. And just before he broke his leg, which I think then there was a couple of times after that he hit some people with his crutch and whatever, just as he was coming back. I'm not sure if anyone remembers that. So I was absolutely heartbroken to not see him. But I love the guy that much that when he won the Intercontinental title against the Mountie, I stood up watching this. Obviously, again, it wasn't live or anything like that. It would have been the next time that I found out of him by watching it. But I stood up, I put my arms in the air, and I just said in pure shock, he did it. And I burst into tears. And I mean tears, proper like a young child, like
the boy who's becoming a man.
I was so overwhelmed. I really was. I'm not too ashamed to say, but I absolutely
cried.
I cried like a baby. I did. I still have my moments now, to be perfectly honest. When Edge came back, I punched the air, and I think if anybody was with me watching that, I think if anybody was with me then and tried to talk to me, I'd have probably been bit.
Don't speak to me. I can't do it. I can't talk.
I still get that lot now. If I'm watching stuff on YouTube or the 24 that he did on the network and the day of and all that sort of stuff, it still gets me, man, because it's real. It's not just a little storyline. It's real.
It means something to you as a person.
Yeah,
literally. I watched quite a few WWE documentaries yesterday, so I caught up a few. I watched the APA, Untold. I watched the Edge Mick Foley, Cactus Jack Untold from Mania 22. But I watched the day of Fastlane, 2021, and towards the end of that, after Sheamus's match with Drew McIntyre, he was backstage, and Abyss was there without obviously gear on because, you know, he's an agent now. Yeah. And Cesaro, obviously, you know, the bar and all of that. And I really related to it. I really related to Uston, to be honest with you, in terms of a tag team. And Sheamus just literally burst out crying and telling Sheamus basically, I love you, man, I love you. And like, honestly, it resonates so much with you. And yeah, I got teary. I ain't afraid to admit it. Like, do you know what I mean? I cried quite a bit last night watching those documentaries. Farouk and Bradshaw had me in tears all the way through. Laughter and sadness. But yeah, this is what wrestling does to us.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question based on your reaction to Piper? How do you think you'd have reacted if Piper then went on later that night and won the World Heavyweight title as well?
Goodness me!
I don't think it could have got better for him.
Yeah, maybe.
If that was reaction to the IC belt, what if you got the big belt at Rumble?
I might have got it out my system. I don't know. It's like
2 belts. That's a bit greedy.
It's what you're doing, mate.
I mean, he could have very well done it, couldn't he? Let's face it. But it was a great time. It was a great era, and I really enjoyed the rivalry between Piper and Ric Flair. Those two together were just incredible. They were so funny. They're just literally, when I watch some of the stuff back now, it's like, it was crazy how funny it was. And then ultimately that led on to what I consider to be one of the, if not the best Piper match that I saw at WrestleMania between him and Brett, where, I mean, he dropped the title, but it was a great WrestleMania match for me. And I was a Bret Hart fan as well. You know, I did love Bret as well. So it was,
even though I 1 to 10, Tom. Like, Goldust and Piper at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What's your 1 to 10 rating on that?
I'd probably have to watch the match back again, to be honest.
White Cadillac, OJ Simpson.
Look, those news reports looked oddly familiar. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
It's not there in his top 10. Put it that way. If you said, give me your top 5 Roddy Piper matches right now, that backlot brawl at WrestleMania 12 does not make the cut. And nothing he did in WCW is ever going to make the cut.
Well, I think his first two are going to be the 2 times that he won. The 2 times that he won the belt. So I think just purely just to see a belt on him when he won the tag titles with Ric Flair later on, didn't he? Was it, what was those lads called? The Spirit Squad?
Spirit Squad. Didn't they? Oh shit! Yeah, fuck me. 2004 gimmick swag.
I think wrestlers like Roddy Piper have got lost in the like when wrestling become mainstream. Whenever it was, like, Piper was wrestling way before that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Bret Hart's been around a lot longer than what people think he has. Yeah. He was wrestling in the 80s. You know what I mean? Kurt Hennig in the 80s. People don't remember him as the. You know,
some of them even the late 70s, right, Mark?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So it was only before, you know, until it become like televised and mainstream and sort of like, you know, accepted by the world, if you like, of sport as a, you know, thing. So, you know, to be fair, like, people like Roddy Piper have had a lot more before. People, do you know what I mean?
I mean, the way that, with me personally as well. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I watched bits when I was younger. And then there was a long time that I didn't really watch a great deal, full stop. I used to watch, if anything, I probably just used to watch what was on TV, which was bits of TNA and things like that at the time, just purely because of not being able to access it, I suppose. And then
the wrestling channel.
I remember the wrestling channel. Yeah,
that's how I found out about TNA, and then my eyes got into a whole different side of wrestling. I think that
that's about TNA in a way different way, Don.
So good back in the day. Anyone that was watching it back in the day at that point is probably the most innovative thing you'd have seen, other than maybe Ring of Honor at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely different product than what it is now.
It was how I first got to really take note of AJ Styles. To be honest, like I still remember his entrance music from then, and then like your Samoa Joes and people like that, and that's it. Yeah.
See, Don, I have fucking seen some, mate.
And he still slags it off.
He's always been eye catching, hasn't he? AJ Styles. He's always caught the eye.
I need to talk about his penis like that, Tom. Fucking hell. So,
speaking of penis.
Oh, hello. Go on, then, break your virginity.
World exclusive here.
In a glass.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is a world exclusive.
This is a world exclusive.
Never ever in my life.
I feel like going into gimmick and telling you off, to be honest.
You have to down it.
You slag my dark fruits off, mate. Me and you're falling out.
Never ever in my life have I ever tried dark fruits. Never. I'm not a... Try it.
This is better than the accidental anal I watched last night.
He's fucking down in it. Oh, I thought he was down in it then.
I thought you popped him then.
It's all right.
I was waiting for the right time then.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. Mid-goal one.
It's nicer than normal strongbow. Anyway.
Yeah, it fucking is. Me and Don got so fucking sick of normal strongbow on a weekend away.
That's how it happened.
That is how it happened. Yeah. We literally, it was so sickly after the fucking first day.
What, the second case we drank?
Yeah, the second case that we drank.
Tom's going to be on the toilet like fucking Ace Ventura when he found out Finkel was Iron On.
Iron On was a man!
The fucking plunger.
because we didn't want to waste our money and we brought 24 cans or whatever it was of fucking original Strongbow. We went to Asda the next day, picked up a crate of dark fruit and some fucking blackcurrant squash, and did science to try and recreate dark fruits.
Oh, man.
It didn't go so well.
No.
Other than that, I think mainly we just lived in a hot tub and I was drinking like Jim Beam, black cherry and dark fruit. It was amazing.
It was a great weekend.
I think the only time that I've ever really drank cider, I was ill as well. And that was one of my mates, Jim, he's in Australia now, Jim. And the one... Where we used to work together. And where we used to work, it used to shut down for every week. And his mom and dad used to go. I think they used to go to Cornwall every year, like for the week. So that was it. Then we was out for the week and crashing at his and whatever. And the one day, we just kind of like came up with this idea. We found just about every glass and cup that we could in the house, every single bit of booze that was in the house. And we put like a little shot in each one, and this table was rammed. And we said, right, we're going to put the TV on and we're going to figure out a new drinking game, something that nobody's ever played before. So we was flicking through the TV channels and Catchphrase came on.
With Roy Walker.
Okay. So then the game turned into one of us was red and one of us was blue. I think it was the two contestants. And then every time that the boing went off, that was it. Whoever's colour it was had to have a drink.
That's class. That's good.
You missed one drinking pot.
It was incredible. I've never, ever... I don't even know what happened for the next 48 hours.
Brilliant.
I like the idea of you just being so shit-faced that Roy Walker in the background. It's a good answer, but it's not like, what was that, Mom? Mother?
Oh, it was...
That's a drinking game right there. Every time he says a good answer, but it's not right. Well, it's not a good answer. It's wrong.
Yes, no, he's another good one. Oh, yes, no, he's another one as well. You sit and watch any TV show, any film that you like. One of you's yes and one of you's no. And every time that somebody says yes, it's yours. No, it's the other one. That's another way to...
you want to speed this up? Just watch a Zodiac promo from WCW. Let's go! Fuck!
So we got a lot. If I can spit my words out, we got a lot to dive into. Before we dive into that, though, Mart, have you got your 7 questions?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's good then. So I'll get them wrong anyway.
Is that real? Or, like, do you have your 7 questions or not?
No.
Okay. On that note,
I'm more than happy with that.
I will have them.
Oh, you will have them. Okay.
Not right.
I'll just right now.
I'll say C for all of them.
There's no multiple choice, buddy. That's that.
Do you know
There
what
you
you
And if there is, it's only fucking 2, so you're wrong, isn't it?
Right then. Okay. So one Mark preps his 7 questions that he's definitely not going to do. Let's talk more about you. So we'll start way away from wrestling, and on the build up and lead up to wrestling. But I think I'm getting the order right here. We're going to talk about BMXing to begin with, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Go for it. Tell us about BMXing.
So, probably similar to how I can never remember a time in my life sort of not liking wrestling. As a kid, I was pretty much born onto 2 wheels. I was bike obsessed. I used to watch a couple of TV programs back in the day. One was Kickstart, Junior Kickstart. I don't know whether anybody remembers that. It's a trial biking program that we used to be on regular, and also a program called BMX Beat that was like freestyle BMX program, and at a young age I sort of jumped on a bike and was razzing around everywhere and whatever, and it got to the stage where my dad was trying to find out somewhere that I could go and do freestyle BMX, which was very difficult to come by back in those days, but he came across Wordsley Warriors BMX Club. So I think I had to be 4 years old. So I turned 4 on the Boxing Day. And then in the new year, when the tracks reopened, my dad took me down there, and that was it. I was just away. Next thing I know, I was racing, like I say, in the 5 and unders. I was racing regionally initially. And then as I got older, went on to the national scene. There was good days, but I used to enjoy the regional racing because it was relatively quiet. But then at a national level, there used to be thousands of people there, and I did used to get a little bit blown away sometimes. I remember the best I ever did once was I got into a semi-final at one of the I can't remember whether it was a national event or a British Championships, but I got into the semi-final and I'd had the most successful day I ever had, and during the semi-final, managed to get myself in the lead and snap my chain.
Oh,
so yeah, that was the closest I ever got to that. And then as I got a little bit older, I started playing football, and again, I played a decent standard of football, to be honest, when I was young. Which kind of like pulled me away from BMX a little bit. There was a club that I played for at the time that, to be perfectly honest, if they could have stopped me playing for the school and the county, then they would have. So BMX was a no-no, really. And then during that time, Wordsley Warriors unfortunately closed. And then sort of like you're talking about travelling to places like Milton Keynes and Burnham-on-Sea to get to your closest tracks. So it wasn't
fucking
really
Milton
doable.
Keynes. Let's just digest how many fucking roundabouts that place has.
I thought you was going to say there is actually something in Milton Keynes.
Well, apparently there's a magical village or town nearby Milton Keynes. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
That's got to be like some so what age was like you at like your peak riding?
BMXing? Probably when I was around about 7, 8, 9 years old, I would say.
Wow.
I think my best ranking, I was ranked 2 in the West Midlands, and I qualified for the World Championships the one year.
Jeez.
Which I think I was ranked about 17 or 18 in the UK, but it just wasn't doable at the time. And my dad would have took me. The World Championships was in France, and my dad would have took me, but I just wasn't confident enough.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I look back now, and I know full well that I could have done a lot better. But I just used to get overawed by everything. It was just the sheer amount of people, and you're racing against people whereby you're sort of like 7, 8 years old and you're racing against people whose dad have got their own team van and they've got the choice of 6 bikes in the back of this van to ride on. And here's me with the same bike that I've had since I was 5 or 6 or something. But they are, but they're good riders and whatever as well and stuff like that, you know. But it was no bother. It was just how it was. And
Tom, they were a bunch of wankers.
Yeah.
And if we could go back in time, we'd go and smack a lot of them around the fucking face.
The lads I used to race against were sound. They were sound. It was just like see them turning up, and you're like, "Oh, up them here."
One question for you there, Tom. Were they losers?
the holiday camp track that I said I did well at. There was a few of them that weren't happy that day. That's all I'll say. There was a few of them that weren't happy that day.
I love this idea though that you're riding across the finish line like this.
Brilliant. Yeah, I did miss there being a few people today. Like there were some dickhead drivers out today. So one of them overtook something. I'm coming down and they're coming. They overtook like a bus or something. But they left it late and they cut it close. So literally, I just went proper Mr. Bean. It was good. On that note, Tom, you mentioned obviously football a little bit there as well. I believe you did quite well at football too. So you mentioned obviously county and
it was not the county. It was the district, the schoolboys.
I get you.
Royal Highland or the schoolboys. It was not the county. I don't know why we always used to call it the county team, but it wasn't. It was Royal Highland or the schoolboys. So I was there for a while. I played for junior teams, and I suppose probably the highest that I went to was I was at Birmingham City for a few months, I suppose, not long, but I played 3 games for Birmingham before being politely told, you're a bit too small.
Which is a Baggies fan, really.
I'm just not, exactly.
I'm just not good enough.
You're a Baggies fan, and how tall are you?
How tall am I? 6'1", I think I am. 6'1".
Too small, mate. Too small.
Yeah, they found out he's a Baggies fan. They thought, fuck him off.
Yeah. Can't have a Baggies. He's
probably
fucking
probably
Baggies.
right.
Stop to training. Can't have him there.
The Gulf. As soon as you go there, like I was at West Brom for a bit training with them. I never played for West Brom, but I trained with them for a bit. It wasn't the best. But going from there to Birmingham City, I'm not just saying this. It was outstanding. It was just the quality of the coaching. Everything was just brilliant. But when I left there, I managed to sort of stay around the Birmingham Boys League, it was called at the time. And I ended up playing for a team called Station Celtic that was based in Northfield in Birmingham. And
I think I got them promoted on Football Manager, to be fair.
Did you really? Well, I wouldn't have been on there. But the manager there, I can't remember his name now. He was an Irish guy. He was a nice guy, but he was a scout for Celtic. So it was like sort of linked up the two. We played in full Celtic kit and all the rest of it. And that was a really good standard of football as well. You tended to play against the lads that were playing for different academies on a Saturday, if you like you players from Aston Villa and that. Playing against teams like Olympic Star and Romulus and teams like that. It was a really good standard. But I kind of lost my way a little bit. That team finished, and then I came back and started playing for my mates, and then I got knocked out playing in the one game, and it really knocked me about. It made me sick as a dog, and I really struggled after that. And then I sort of, it took me ages to get back playing and actually enjoy playing football again. And then as soon as I seemed to do that, I had a bad injury to my knee where I tore my ligaments, and it was just, I was just become a complete sick note after that. I tore my knee ligaments 3 times, hairline fractures in my right shin, I broke my toes, I dislocated a finger, I fractured my chest bone. You name it, I did it. I was just like, I've had enough of this. I can't take no more. Like I'm paying the price for it now, to be honest.
No, strangely enough, I got injured way more playing football than I ever did wrestling. And touch wood, because like I'm not finished wrestling, so who knows? That could go wrong. But we'll try and keep fit and healthy, right?
Right.
Tom, it is your time to answer Mark's 7 questions.
Okay. Oh, God.
Good luck.
That's right, Kate. I do have 7 questions.
Oh,
brilliant,
man.
Because, like, you should know about wrestling. You talked about BMX and you talked about football, but you're a wrestling guy and that's why you're here. So you're going to answer 7 questions, not 10, not 5, 7.
I'm going to try.
7's a good number, right? 7's a
You're
good
going to ask me how many knee pads Ahmed Johnson's got?
99 red knee pads.
If you talk about Ahmed Johnson, I'm going to fuck you off like Birmingham City did, okay?
You know what? That's a fair point.
Oh, she's on form tonight.
Are you ready? Okay. Just a few easy ones. I'll give you 3 easy ones just to warm you up, just to wet your whistle a bit. All right.
Don't put me under pressure like that. Then nothing's easy with me.
So, question number 1: who asked Nikki Bella to marry him at WrestleMania 33?
John Cena.
Well done. Yeah, 1 point.
And no one saw him.
Yeah, no one saw him do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we didn't see him.
Could have been Dolph Ziggler.
If you'd have cashed in earlier.
Could have been. Yeah. So the women's championship match in WrestleMania 1 featured which 1980s icon?
What's the name? Blaze. No. Don't know.
No hint.
Time after time.
Oh, well,
Nice.
yes.
Martin Holland.
Not Celine Dion. No.
Girls, they want to have fun.
Yes.
Yes,
I know who you mean, bro. I've just got a complete mind blank. Cindy Lauper.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm saying that was easy. That was fucking rock hard. Like, I wouldn't have known that if it was a fucking answer. So,
To be honest, though, my answer in my head when you asked that question was the Fabulous Moolah. I was like,
yeah.
Is it weird that I went Wendy Richter?
Yeah, there you go. See, like we've got him between us. Who was
Yeah,
involved.
we've got the match.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Question.
You're too kind, lads.
Question number 3: what nationality is Kevin Owens?
He's French Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah,
He's French Canadian.
French Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, Canadian. Yeah.
He's just a
I like-
look.
That's
I
where
like
he's
him.
boot. That's where he's a boot.
I like Kevin Owens.
He's good.
Question number 4: which former wrestler is Bo and Bray's daddy?
Is it what?
Bo and Bray's daddy. He just said dad, bro. Like, I want to say daddy.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy's
Absolutely.
great work.
You what, sorry?
Their dad.
Who's their dad?
He's
Oh,
the
you mean,
sweatiest man in 93.
Erwin R. Shyster.
There you go.
Boom.
There you go.
Very
Okay,
sweaty
okay.
man. Very sweaty.
What question, man, Rob?
That was 7.
I think that
Question
was
number 4.
4. I think that was, yeah.
Okay. Is it 4 now or 5?
Yeah, this is 5.
Right.
This is
Question
5.
number 5. At which WrestleMania did Hulk Hogan famously fight the Giant Andre?
Oh, was it 3? 3?
It was.
WrestleMania 3? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
In front of 93,000 at the Silver Dome, baby.
And because question number 6, because you're so good at the celebrity in WrestleMania 1, we've got to be equality and diversity on this show, right? So we've had a women celebrity. We're going to have a male celebrity now. So WrestleMania 1, which 80s television star featured in the main event of WrestleMania 1?
Mr. T.
There you go. Number 6. Well done.
Get some Snickers.
And question number 7.
You know what? I've got his
Where's
pop
your
vinyl up there.
Question number 7. It's got to be because, you know, politics. We all are about the politics and, you know, positioning yourself. So, who was the first person to ever pin Mr. Perfect in the WWE? Just remember politics, positioning. Doesn't work for me, brother. All that sort of gimmicks.
Wow, that's a great question.
When it comes crashing. When it comes crashing down and it
Are you
hurts.
singing? Are you singing it to me, are you? Is it the Hulkster?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good question. That's a good question, though.
That's a great question. I'm quite intrigued by that. That's good. I like that.
So something to watch that is now. I'm gonna try to dig that one out now.
I always thought it was Kerry Von Erich. I thought it was Kerry Von Erich.
You give me any excuse to watch Mr. Perfect and I'll watch it.
Yeah, but versus Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Terry.
He was
bastard.
He was an eye catcher back in the day, though. He was.
You got 7 out of 7. Kate, well done.
Congratulations, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we go from the world of BMXing and football into announcing. So tell me a little bit about boxing, wrestling. What interested you in getting involved in announcing?
I didn't initially, to be honest. I think the start of wrestling came about through speaking to Chris Godsize. Become good friends with Chris Godsize through going to watch Godsize play, and I bumped into him on holiday once and was talking to him and whatever, and we just kept in touch. And then the subject came up actually about refereeing, and at the time he said, "Well, you should go training." So I was like, "You know what? Yeah, go on then." If this was something that I would have known about sort of 15, 20 years ago, I would have done it. And I just said to myself, "No, you're going." So, and that's it then. I'm the type of person, if I say, "Oh, I'll see," I'll never do it. So I literally there and then said, "Okay, I'm going to go wrestling training." And so I had to, at the time I was working like a double day shift. So I was a bit late to the training through having to get from Wolverhampton to Cradley Heath. And I just turned up and met Jig, and Jig put me to Don, and Don sent me running around the gym numerous times, and then we went through the bumps.
There was a sign on us to do.
That's my training regiment. Run round.
Go on, let's see how long you
It wasn't too bad.
Keep going.
It wasn't too bad. I just kept running until he said stop, and he was like, "There, come in there."
Good thing what he hasn't told you though is 2 hours after the training finished, I said, "Right, you can stop now."
So yeah, we went through the bumps and the rolls, and did a little bit of grappling and wrestling, and then at the end of the session, Jig used to pair people up and give people, I think it was 5 minutes to come up with a 2-minute match, something like that. Some gimmick like that. But he just said to me, "Don't worry about that. You referee him." So I refereed the matches at the end, and I enjoyed it. Went back, and I kept going back then until Lewis was old enough to go training, and then took Lewis training there. And the announcing really came about because I used to do quite a bit of charity work. I did anything from, we did charity darts nights with some friends from work and whatever. I ran a charity football team. I've had bands playing and whatever. And then I got asked to do some white collar boxing. I got asked to announce the white collar boxing, which I think either me or Kate put something on social media about it. And then I remember the one day Lucas, my youngest, was racing on his bike in the balance bike championships, and my phone pinged, and it was Dan, and he said, "Are you coming to FCW tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be there." Yeah, he said, "Do you fancy announcing the show?" And I was like, "Okay." I think Chris had had to pull out for some reason, and I was like, "Yeah, go on, I'll help you out," kind of thing. And so I did the FCW show, and then I did a couple of other shows where Chris was unavailable. And then in the meantime, Luke Twigg asked me if I'd help him out. Well, help out. He gave me a spot at APW to go and do a few shows over there. And Serb as well. Serb got me on Wolfram Pro. And then I also ended up at Phoenix as well. So I'm making you all laugh here for some reason. I'm getting really paranoid.
Don't be paranoid. Just like as an announcer, though, like that's gonna be quite weird because you're sort of like thrown into it. It almost seems like it's like, right, these lads are coming out, Say the names. The crowd. That's got to be like quite nerve-wracking in its own.
Yeah,
respect.
I think so. I think FCW was a good show to sort of start with in a way, because Chris is he's quite lively, isn't he? Chris is as soon as he steps through the curtain, the FCW people just love him. He grips them and he gets them. So kind of like when you come through, you can kind of like go down the route of come on, make some noise kind of thing. Whereas then when I went to APW with Luke was like, I want this to be a bit more like an indie show style. So it was a little bit more. I was happy with that. Literally, he tells you everything. He makes everything so simple. He literally tells you, "This is how I want it. I want it exactly how it says here." And I was like, "No problem." You know, every time he gives me an instruction, I try and listen, and that was it really. And then I went down to Phoenix to help out at Phoenix because their announcer then there was part of a storyline, and they needed an announcer for his show. So John Nursel asked Serb, I think it was, who's your announcer up there, and he was like, "Do you want to come down?" And went down there and did a couple of shows for Phoenix, and that's been pretty much it, to be honest. I can carried on at Wolfram, and every time FCW need me to step in, I'll step in. They was doing a pre-show thing, which I think Chris was struggling to get there for the start of shows and whatever, and it helped him out a little bit as well by just allowing him to get there a little bit later on and whatever. But I love the FCW shows. I'm always there I'm normally one of the first there. Normally there's me, Paul Jenks and Ashu there, usually from around about 12, setting the ring up and stuff like that. But I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to get involved and learn.
Ring announcing as well, it's not as easy. You know, it ain't as easy as what it seems. You're not just standing there saying, "Oh, blah 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 blah." You know, if you don't put any effort into it, you don't put any sort of like your own spin on it, it can just be the most blandest thing ever. And that's what you don't want it to be, really. So I've done it myself when I've been like not wrestling, and I've done like guest announcing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you called me a big fat bastard.
Yeah. I did, yeah. That was one of the times.
I love that road. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, It's true, Woody. It's true.
I'd send a text message like literally straight after.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
Rob,
really sorry.
Rob, I've done something. I'm really sorry.
Here's a video.
It ain't easy. That just showed I've been in the ring and stuff, and like I had a plan of what I wanted to say, and sometimes you don't say what you want to say. Something else just comes out, and you just.
I always have I have a little piece of card like on the inside of my hand, because I can be standing there and I know who's coming out next, but I'm still be going check.
Is it like that nightmare, like where you think, if I introduce somebody with the wrong name, or you know,
I've had a couple of times where down in Phoenix there was a good friend of ours, Ben and Mike. They come out and I came out and introducing to you, and then I think what came out of my mouth next was like blah 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 blah, and they turned around and they was like, because they was full heel, and they turned around to me and went, do it again, and I was like, okay, I will. But you know, that really helped, and I've cocked up at Wolfram once as well. I can't remember what I did, but I walked back through the curtain and everybody was standing there laughing at me, and I'm like, oh, flipping it. But yeah, like
you'll never do it right if you never cock up.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's just right.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Lillian Garcia falls over, doesn't she? And
I mean,
You know, so they make mistakes these days, mate. And
the video where she gets fucking like that, who comes in, slides in, hits the ropes, and she goes fucking flying.
Charlie Hoss.
Is it? Yeah, that's it.
Charlie Hoss. Yeah.
Bye.
Fucking bombs are off the fucking off the side.
Yeah. So, like, I've had 2 shots during this episode. Thanks, Tom. But literally, before we wrap up, we do have a huge announcement before you leave, Tom. And I'll let you take the lead. Go for it.
Okay, so so we've already had the exclusive of me drinking dark fruits for the first time, but the West Midlands wrestling fans and community that are watching this might be interested to know that at the end of this year, October time, there will be the start of a new promotion, and it's going to be Black Country Championship Wrestling, and that's going to be starting around about Halloween time. We're hoping to. We've just got a couple of things to tie up date-wise, because just due to the fact that COVID's stopping us from going to see people, but it's looking good. And October this year, me and Rob, with the help of Mart and Don and a few others, really pleased to announce the start of Black Country Championship Wrestling. So, is that all right, Rob?
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I couldn't have said it better myself in the words of Meatloaf, but yes, that is absolutely correct. COVID permitting, and we're out of the shit, and we can get back to what we love doing. We will be starting a brand new promotion called Black Country Championship Wrestling, and yeah, I'm fucking super excited.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome if we can get it done based on COVID. So let's stay positive, get the guidelines out of the way, stay safe, protect the NHS, go out, don't go out, do wear a mask, don't wear a mask, all of the Boris gimmicks, so we can have a Halloween show this year and get it off the ground and get
absolutely
the right people involved.
A promotion where not only the people that come and sit in the audience want to come back, but also everybody that's part of the show taking part wants to come back as well. You know, happy environment, everything right, everything in the right place, and all the rest of it. I think it's the happy times. I think happy times.
What are we expecting to see then, Tom? What are we expecting to see? We're expecting to see action, drama, politics. Not
all of the gimmicks.
Just all the gimmicks.
I expect to see technical difficulties, which I really hope not.
Well, it's not only going to be sponsored by technical difficulties, but obviously the show's going to be sponsored by Hot Tag Reviews too.
Yeah.
That's a given. Here's the thing, right? We've been talking. I think if I want to put a teaser out there, Tom, I'm going to do it. And one of the matches on said card, being at Halloween, the show is going to be called Halloween Mayhem. And we are going to have a good old-fashioned Halloween street fight.
We are.
Well,
we are indeed.
Ooh. Well, what we say?
We are indeed.
What we say?
And it's
actual
I can
street.
Somebody that lives and breathes horror films and Halloween and everything. And it's just, I have so much faith that this is going to be incredible. I really have. I really, really have. Okay. And the rest of the show, it's going to be.
Well, calm down, Tom. We can't give it all away. We can't give it all away, Tom.
No, I was just going to say that we spoke about.
Keep looking. Go on, Tom. Go on,
I was just going to say that we spoke about numerous things, and it's going to be a promotion where we see some of your favourites. We see some people that want an opportunity and give new opportunities to new people, and also give people opportunities in the Midlands that aren't necessarily from the Midlands and can make it around here and have approached us, or we've approached them to come up here and have a wrestle and have some fun, and it's another wrestling show for people to have to see, and hopefully we can link it up with some kind of training school in time, which is something that we've talked about as well. And just give people opportunities to experience live wrestling.
It's the try it out promotion. It's the try it out promotion. We'll try it out.
We'll try it out. We'll give people an opportunity. We'll try it out. And we'll see where we end up and we go from it. But we've got big plans, and we just need COVID to disappear to make those plans come to fruition, and life to continue, and do something that we can all be very proud of, workers, fans, and ourselves included. And on that bombshell, that is the end of this episode, Tom Priest. You have been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else you want to plug before we leave?
No, just thank you for having me. It's been nice to see you all. It has. It's pity that
I'm we're not. So glad you've enjoyed the dark fruit. So glad.
Oh yeah. I've still got 2.5 cans left, I think. Now. So.
How excited are you? I've got 2.5 cans left.
Tom, I'll be round for a backstage at the Bag of Doing episode if you like.
That could be arranged soon, I suppose. we could have done a backstage. We could have done a garden session, couldn't we? And
that's actually true. We could
have done a garden session.
That's true. Maybe another time. Okay, then.
Absolutely.
So, Tom Priest has been our guest. I have been Rob Campbell alongside
Martin Holland.
And Daniel swinging around my head, cornfield.
Nice. Cool. Indeed. If you've watched the new season, you'll get it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all next time on Talking Shop.